Hi, this is Don Fisher, and I hope all of you are as excited as I am to be part of a revolution in the apparel retailing industry. The fact that we're selling good quality and great style at very competitive prices puts us in the position to surprise the industry. I think this could be the biggest division in the company in the long run. So good luck to all of you, and I'm going to keep an eye on each one of your stores every single day. Thanks.
This morning on Wall.
And there were the Rockettes from Rockefeller Center kicking their legs up and down.
Dan Mace said what?
What the We did it,
Bush, how about this? President Bush says he's closing the gap. Well, isn't that just like Bush, huh? The one store in the country that's making money, he wants to shut it down.
The Gap is now one of the hippest retail chains in the nation.
People were angry with the store Gap.
Directly to the Gap.
A social media celebrity for our planet and make a big change when it comes to waste.
With the help of New York film director Dan Mace.
People have asked repeatedly for Gap to stop this, start using wood or reusable hangers, or just find some way that they can not use plastic hangers and just not produce this waste and have it listed.
72 hours ago, I was in the Brazilian rainforest. I saw the immense examples of the impact humans have had on the earth front on. In so knowing, I too am part of the problem. We are all part of the problem.
I'm not normal.
With these videos, the Not Normal Show, I connect with people on an eye-to-eye level around the globe, which means a lot, and I mean a lot of flying. 29,387 air miles so far to be exact. And this contributes to around 200 kilograms of CO2 into the Earth's atmosphere. The same amount emitted by McDonald's-owned restaurants by way of comparison every 35 seconds. We are all part of the problem. But before beating yourself up about it too much, this 21st century tale of David versus Goliath will give you a fresh perspective into tackling change. If you're still confused as to what the seed envelope is, or the entire Not Normal Show as a whole, that's totally cool. I built this global map which you can find on notnormalshow.com, where you plant a seed, which is an unfinished idea, in your city. Each week I choose a new seed, I fly to that city and complete it with you. Before I unravel this seed, I just want to contextualize how I did the selection process on this one, because it worked a little bit differently. I was in an Airbnb house in the middle of the rainforest, not knowing where I was going to head to next. When I watched a video 2 teenagers sent me on Instagram along with their seed idea.
This is an open letter to Dan Mace, Old Navy, Gap Incorporated, and the whole world. This is the story of 2 kids, a massive corporation, and a plan to fight for what's right.
For the last 18 months, I've worked here. This is Old Navy. You see, Old Navy and its business daddy Gap Inc. make billions of dollars a year, but they still actively choose to throw away thousands of plastic hangers every single day. And if all of the over 1,000 Old Navy stores in America throw away hangers at the same rate, 5 million or more hangers are being trashed each week, placing a total of over 14 million pounds of plastic hangers into landfills each year. That's 7,000 tons. And you know what weighs 7,300 tons?
Pardon my French.
The Eiffel Tower.
So Dan.
Come on, Dan. Hey, Dan.
Dan, what's good? I'm talking to you.
Dan, we hope you see this. And we hope even more that you help us turn this seed into something amazing.
This was my chance to give back, not only by contributing awareness, but through helping expose a massive corporation that is discarding more single-use plastics than 31,000 Americans every day. That's the whole city of Des Moines in Iowa every week. That's the population of the country Cuba in 1 year. This film is not about you. It's about the Gap's Old Navy. Therefore, this week's seed is by Jackson Dumas. Harness the power of kids to change the world. Hashtag hang it out. Welcome to my weekly show, Not Normal.
Pictures of the bits of my brain and you can see quick sticks. So we the black sheep, not normal. Flip it with the switch and we strange. And you can say it again and take a back seat. Crazy, not normal.
Are there corners of the earth that haven't been exposed to plastic? Maybe, but probably not. It has boundless applications in the modern world. You'll find it in every home, office, factory, vehicle, and lots of public spaces too. In 1869, Jonah I finalized the first synthetic polymer by treating a natural polymer that makes up the cell walls of plants, cellulose, to win $10,000 put up by a New York firm for anyone who could provide a substitute for ivory. Manufacturing was no longer limited by nature. Plastics were predicted to protect the environment and its natural resources. Ads back then praised plastic as the savior of the elephant and the tortoise. Who knew that modern turtles wouldn't quite share the same sentiment? In 1907, the first fully synthetic plastic was invented, cheap to produce, malleable as anything, and virtually indestructible. It is, in many ways, a miracle product. Yet, for all its blessings, it carries a formidable curse. Plastics don't disappear. They take at least 450 years to biodegrade, meaning the first piece of plastic ever created is still somewhere. And we've created 10 billion tons more since the 1950s. It was time to meet the two-seaters for this week.
Hello? You outside 368? Okay.
Dude, when I was 17 and I got a job at Old Navy just so I could put gas in my car, I had no idea that 2 years later I'd be making a film about how they throw away thousands of plastic hangers every single day. And I've become so passionate about this, and I've found out that so many other people are so passionate about this that we actually have a shot at doing something about this.
I'm just going to pause there to add that just prior to coming to New York, Jackson collected a week's worth of single-use hangers from Old Navy in his hometown and created this drone shot, then sent it to his boss with his resignation. How badass is that?
Yeah, but like our seed idea isn't about the everyday person-to-person plastic consumption solutions. It's about the big corporations that can affect mass change now, like Old Navy.
I was taken back because these teens reminded me so much of myself when I was their age. My friend Jonah and I try to create similar change by starting many different plastic sustainability campaigns, like Help Me to Breathe, Blair Witch Barbie, and Sprout About, which all didn't affect the change we had hoped for. But I guess that's why I gravitated towards this idea. They are both such great, quirky dudes with massive hearts and a care for the future of our planet. I just wanted to do some first-hand research, so we headed to one of the biggest Old Navy stores in the country.
Nah, they got thrown out.
They get thrown out? Do you know where they get thrown out?
In the dumpster.
Thrown out? They go in the garbage. They go in the garbage? We just throw it away. You just throw them out typically? You know, but do you guys like reuse them or anything? Really?
Yeah, we throw them away.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, not surprised, because every single store does this.
The only way to affect change here would be to talk to someone high up in their corporate structure. So we flew out to their San Francisco HQ the next morning, ironically on the day of Gap's 50th birthday.
Not gonna lie, pretty nervous.
In hope for a peaceful sit-down, but they wouldn't let us through the doors, and hired guards as well as policemen to keep us out. So instead, we rallied together outside.
A million, probably hundreds of millions of plastic hangers in the last 10 years.
Where a bunch of like-minded people started joining in. The police even stated that Gap clearly had something to hide.
It's on the Gap, that first, look.
It's on the Gap. They're busy.
After a short while, their employees were bunched on the rooftop deck, looking down at a small group of passionate changemakers pointing and laughing.
What I hate is how everyone's just laughing from inside there. Everyone that comes outside thinks this is a huge joke. So sad. Like they're taking photos and laughing at us.
Not one person spoke to us. Not one. We did, however, make it on more than 10 different news stations around the country, and multiple other sources coming to the table claiming the same insights as us. But even this didn't get them talking. A day later, they posted this video on Instagram. Old Navy as well as the Gap. to say that they do indeed care about the environment. But if you take a look at the comment section, you can quickly see how people are aware of the damage that the Gap and Old Navy are doing, and still nothing is changing. And they're gonna keep getting away with this unless we all stand together, unless someone inside the Gap headquarters that's watching this video decides to stand up and do something now. The point here is to spotlight the big corporations like Gap Inc. and many others that are getting away with hundreds of millions of tons of harmful plastic waste every single year, with little to no accountability because it's easier and makes a select minority richer. This may be nearing the end of this week's video, but it's in no way nearing the end of this week's seed. In fact, it's just the beginning. We are gonna keep coming after you, Gap Inc., until you make a change. It's time to do something.
Don't forget, you're awesome, group, and I'll see you next week, Wednesday.
I just want to say a huge thank you to my sponsors B&H Photo Video and Epidemic Sound. If you enjoyed this episode, please remember to hit the like button as well as subscribe and put your notifications bell on. Next week, I tell the story of what went down in the Brazilian rainforest.